This morning, we're also closely following that courtroom in Georgia where the trial for the 3 men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery is underway. And just moments ago, there was once again some tension in that courtroom because one of the defense attorneys requested that Reverend Jesse Jackson leave the courtroom and view the trial from a separate room in the courthouse. This comes after that same lawyer apologized last week for requesting Reverend Al Sharpton not be allowed in the courtroom. NBC's Ron Allen is in that Brunswick, Georgia courtroom following the trial for us. Also back with me, former prosecutor and civil rights attorney Charles Coleman. So, Ron, not the only exchange between the judge and the defense attorney this morning. Once again, the request that a black pastor leave the courtroom. What was the reasoning given, and can you walk us through what happened?
The request now, Craig, has gotten even bigger. The defense counsels are asking for a mistrial. They're saying that the presence of people like Reverend Jesse Jackson, Al Sharpton, and others is there to try and influence the jury, and they're maintaining that their clients can't get a fair trial because of that and a number of other things. For example, a picture of Ahmaud Arbery was displayed in court, and there was a audible gasp of emotion from someone in the gallery, perhaps one of the Arbery's parents, and the defense objected to that as well because that person was near Reverend Jesse Jackson. So we just went through a good half hour or more of arguments back and forth about whether pastors, who can be in the gallery, so on and so forth. Let me give you a sense of the back and forth. Here's the exchange between Kevin Goff, the attorney for one of the defendants, and the judge about the presence of Reverend Jackson. Take a listen.
Jesse Jackson, I believe is still here. Of course, he is, Your Honor, I think we all know, an icon in the civil rights movement. Not just a witness to it, he is the personification of it. And in other circumstances, I think everybody would be happy to have their picture taken, maybe get an autograph. But in the context of this trial, we object to his presence in the public gallery inside the courtroom.
I find that objectionable from the court standpoint. I have said over and over and over in this trial that I am attempting to ensure that in this courtroom that the defendants receive a fair trial, and I will continue to do that.
At one point, the attorney said something to the effect of, how many black pastors does the Arbery family have? Will Reverend Raphael Warnock, the senator from Georgia, be here next? The judge also described some of his comments as reprehensible. There's a lot of tension about this issue. It's been going on now for a couple of days. The activists who support the Arbery family have said that they're going to invite 100 black pastors to come here during the course of this week. And as you might imagine, Arbery's family has just been vehement that this is insensitive or worse for the defense to suggest who they can have in the gallery. Just for context, it is a very small public courtroom because of COVID restrictions. For example, there's only 2 pool print reporters allowed, and there's an overflow room in another courtroom where you can watch it on video. And that's what they are saying, that the defense is maintaining that Reverend Jackson and others should go to that particular room. But the whole issue has just become very, very contentious, Craig. It's hard to explain. It's hard to express how angry people are that black pastors, of all people, are being singled out at a time when they see this family as grief-stricken, this family is in mourning, this family is trying to get justice, and they are inviting who they want to be with them during this time. But this is not the end of it. It's going to go on.
Charles,
Craig.
really quickly here, we just have about 60 seconds. I mean, what kind of an impact could this potentially have on the trial, just the mere presence of a Reverend Jesse Jackson?
Well, Craig, at the end of the day, I think we need to stop dancing around the mulberry bush about what we're talking about. This is not about absurdity. This is not about something that's insensitive. This is about racism. At the end of the day, Kevin Goff decided that he wanted to single out black pastors when he needs to be more concerned about how he's launching a defense for his client as opposed to who's sitting in the galley of the courtroom. This is not unusual. Those people who are sitting there in the interest of watching this trial and wanting to see justice done for Ahmaud Arbery have a right to be there so long as they are not being disruptive to the proceedings in that courtroom. And so I find it insulting and very problematic that Kevin Gale, even after having apologized for this, now decides that he wants to put down the dog whistle and pick up the bullhorn in terms of continuing with these racist attacks and trying to dictate who should and who should not be in that courtroom.
Ron Allen, Charles Coleman, big thanks to both of you.